From a mysterious and beautiful Viking ring to a golden boot, here are the most amazing archaeological finds made with a metal detector. Number 7. The second shooter. Just after lunchtime on November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated while traveling via motorcade through Dallas, Texas. The FBI investigated the killing and found it to be the work of a single gunman named Lee Harvey Oswald, who fired shots from the Texas School Book Depository. The president's passing shocked the nation, and many conspiracy theories began to spread. Many believe that due to the trajectory of the shots, there simply could not have been just one gunman. The popular grassy knoll theory states that the second gunman was perched atop the nearby grassy highland. No proof existed to support this theory, and the U.S. government denied it fully. In 1974, amateur metal detectorist Richard H. Lester was searching around 500 feet from the book depository when he struck what would become conspiracy theorist gold: a bullet. Lester kept the bullet for a couple of years before handing it over to the FBI, who found that it could not have been fired from Oswald's rifle. It was not kept as evidence, though, as they had no way of linking it to the crimes, nor did they feel it was related. Despite this, Lester's bullet had sparked many new theories, many including government involvement in the assassination and subsequent cover-up operations. Number 6. The Crosby Garrett helmet. An unnamed metal detectorist made the discovery of a lifetime while exploring in an English field. Assuming he had hit the usual coin-related find, the man began wiping away the dust and was amazed to find dozens of fragment pieces of metal. As he inspected the shards closely, he realized they fit together into a sort of mask. He quickly collected the pieces and brought them to an auction house, who called in a historian. The pieces were identified as an 1800-year-old Roman mask, and a team set to work to restore it. 200 hours later, the eerily beautiful piece came to life, depicting an image of traditional Roman beauty. The mask was used by Roman cavalrymen to show off their skills in tournaments. The mask sold for $3.6 million at auction. One of only 3 of its kind, it sold for over 8 times its worth and currently has the UK scrambling to scrape together funding to purchase it before the private buyer refuses sale or begins attempting to move it overseas. Number 5. The Boot of Cortez. In 1989, a man's search for riches proved fruitful when he discovered a treasure that ultimately brought him around $1.5 million. Dubbed the Boot of Cortez due to its bizarre similarity in shape to footwear, the massive gold nugget weighed in at over 389 troy ounces and was the largest of its kind to ever be discovered in the Western Hemisphere. A bizarrely lucky break, the man sold it at auction in 2008 after holding onto it for 2 decades since its discovery in the desert just outside of Sonora, Mexico. Ironically, the man found it with an incredibly low-end, partially broken metal detector. Talk about a lucky break. Number 4. Santa Margarita Chalice. In 1622, 2 ships sailing together off the coast of Key West sunk in a storm. The Santa Margarita and Atocha scattered their cargo as they fell into the sea. Recovery efforts were halted when a second storm moved much of the remnants of the wreck further away from the initial site. It was assumed most of the pieces were simply lost forever until an amateur diver who had only been out treasure hunting for around 2 months struck literal gold while working on a reef. 20-year-old Michael Delmar, was using a metal detector in the Florida Straits when he found what he initially thought was a beer can. After pulling it up, he realized he had found something much more special. The chalice was placed to be around 400 years old and sold for over $1 million at auction in 2008. Delmar expects there to be more treasure from the wreck in the area and has continued to dive the location since. Number 3. Sterling Torques. David Booth just might be the luckiest man in the world. He did not even intend on finding treasure when he discovered a set of 4 antiquated necklaces just 6 inches below the surface of the earth while on his very first metal detecting voyage. He was just hoping to get some fresh air and enjoy the Scottish countryside. Instead, he made over $500,000 in one afternoon. The Torques have been dubbed one of the most important hoards to ever be unearthed in Scotland, as they show just how connected the Scots were to the rest of Europe during the Iron Age. 2 of the necklaces were in a traditional Scottish style, while the other 2 were created in the image of French and Mediterranean trends, suggesting that a Scottish smith learned to make the pieces while abroad. The whole hoard was purchased by the National Museum of Scotland and is on display. Number 2. A Viking ring. When you think of Vikings, chances are you imagine warriors clad in leather and fur, raging into battle, not rings and finery. Shockingly, the Vikings made some absolutely beautiful pieces of jewelry and art. A metal detectorist in Europe may have found exactly that when he uncovered a stunning gold and sapphire ring while out on a spur-of-the-moment treasure hunt. It is the only Anglo-Saxon era sapphire ring to ever be recovered from the ground in Britain, making it historically significant as well as gorgeous. It is believed to date to around the 10th or 11th century and likely belong to either high-tier Viking officials or Anglo-Saxon priests. The ring was purchased by the Yorkshire Museum for €35,000, with the plans to trace the sapphire's exact origin. A bit of a historical fun fact: sapphires were used in medieval times to ward off evil spirits and bring luck in battle. Number 1. Aunslev Crucifix. In early 2016, metal detectorist Dennis Fabricius Holm decided to go out treasure hunting near the village of Aunslev. A bit into the search, he found a small crucifix with intricate carvings and a small hook to be worn as a pendant. He posted photos of his find to social media, where he was urged to have it checked out by historians. Researchers looked the piece over and were astounded to find that it likely came from around 900 to 905 AD. Vikings were believed to have followed religions other than Christianity until after around at least 1010 AD, when a mass conversion began. The existence of the cross means that they very well may have converted much sooner than historians have been led to believe. The cross is currently held by the Viking Museum Ladby, where it has been officially named the Aunslev Cross. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Please make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe below.